What's up everybody, welcome to another unboxing and initial impressions video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mophie wireless charging base. This is a wireless charger designed for the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 10. These are the first iPhones that came out with wireless charging enabled. This is something that a lot of Android phones have had for a number of years now, but it's cool to see it come to iOS. So this is an interesting charging base because it's one of the ones that's officially supported by Apple. Now again, the iPhones should charge on any wireless charging bases that follow the QI standard, but this is one of the ones, along with the Belkin, I believe, that Apple is promoting as compatible or very compatible with, the iPhone. So this wireless charging base charges at 7.5 watts up to 7.5 watts. You can see that over here. And that is 2.5 watts more than the first the standard QI wireless charging. That was 5 watts. So if you've upgraded to iOS 11.2 or later, presumably, they've enabled this. So initially, if you just gotten your iPhone 8, 8 Plus, or 10, and you noticed that it was charging slow wirelessly, then make sure that you're upgraded to the latest OS because it charges up to 50% faster, 7.5 instead of 5. So we'll take a look at the box real quick, see what we've got here. It's a nice matte finish. It's not soft touch, but it feels nicer than your standard cardboard. And then you can see on the back here, there are just there's some product literature. It says compatible with the 8, the 8 Plus, and the 10 or the X. And you can see here there's a little pull tab. This is actually magnetic, which is pretty cool. So there's a little magnet over here. You can see it's a little circle, like right there. And then there's another magnet embedded in the cardboard here. So it's nice. It just keeps the box closed. And you're greeted at first with the right away with the wireless charging pad. Just take a look at it here. See, it feels it's like a soft touch. This is a soft touch rubber on the top and the back. And I can feel this is like a very grippy, textured type of rubber, so it's probably designed to just keep the phone on there so it doesn't slide off. You can see here there's some product specifications on the back. You can see here is our DC in port, and that's kind of it, honestly. There's not much else to talk about. I mean, you've got the DC in here, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and put that down. And we'll take a look at what else is in the box. You can see, just pull that out. And you're greeted with another, that's just the inside of that pull tab there. So we've got our AC adapter, so we'll pull that out. And then we've got our quick start guide. So we'll take a look at that first because that's the boring thing. It's just tiny text, lots of languages, and I don't think it really says anything interesting. So these things are pretty self-explanatory. You put the phone on the charger and it charges, or at least it should. Now, one note right away is that the Mophie is using a power brick. You can see it's branded with their logo, and let's see. I'm gonna say I don't know if that's gonna focus on that or not, but let's see. It says 100 to 240 volts, 50-60 hertz. That's good. It's pretty compatible overseas. 19 volts at 1.3 amps, so that makes me think it's very similar to like a Quick Charge 3, because I believe that goes up to 19 volts. So the good and the bad of this right away, I'm not a huge fan of this. Not a huge fan because a lot of other wireless chargers use a micro USB cord for their DC input, and that's just really convenient because if this thing breaks, you're going to need a new one. Otherwise, this is going to be pretty useless. But if you lose a micro USB cable, you can just replace it. If you don't have the adapter with you, say you're bringing this to work or vacation or wherever, if it had a micro USB input, you could use, say, a battery bank or a laptop or anything else. Now, of course, at that point, you'd say, why not just plug your phone into the battery bank or the laptop? Well, sure, that's a good idea. But if you want to charge wirelessly, at least with the Mophie, you need this proprietary adapter. So not a big fan of that, but we'll see how it works. So again, you know, here it is, DC in, and it just goes in like that. It's contoured, it's like an oval, so it only goes in, you know, it'll go in one of two ways, it doesn't matter, but it's again, not a circle, so don't try to force it in because it has to be a certain orientation. So next thing what we'll do is we will just unravel these twist ties. We'll go ahead and plug this in and we'll see what happens. We have the iPhone 10 here, the iPhone X. It's supposed to be the 10, but just call it the X, you know. It's a giant X, so. Alright, we will go ahead and put it on, and you can see it started charging right away, and that's good. Now, we'll take a look and say this iPhone's 73% charged, so it should be charging at around the maximum. I believe at 70%, you know, it'll still accept around 2 amps at, you know, at 5 volts, so it'll accept about 10 watts of input. And you can see over here, we have a, let's see if it can get to focus. Maybe it won't. And just there. So you can see a draw of about 13 and a half watts or so. So that makes me think that, again, you're going to have efficiency losses and stuff, but you are charging at 7.5 watts right now. So again, the wireless chargers aren't the most efficient. They generate heat. You know, again, if you want to plug in your phone, you'll get a faster charge. But they're pretty sweet because, again, you know, no wires. You can pick up your phone and use it and then throw it back on the charger. Noticed one other thing, let's say right away I'm noticing is that this rubber, this outside ring here is very grippy, and that's really good. I'm on cardboard right now, since I'll just make sure there's nothing on the bottom there, but yeah, I mean that's really on there. And say, you know, if I push pretty hard, you're actually going to move the cardboard. So it's definitely what we want to see. Say we will zoom back out, so you're staring at the bottom of the phone. So again, my initial impressions are that the pad is. Let's see. Actually, are there any indicator lights on this? That's interesting. Yes, there is. There's a small green one right there. Might be hard to see with the camera light, but there's a very small green light that turns on when the phone is charging. So let's see. Yep. So it turns on green when the phone's charging, and then when the phone's not charging, it is it's dark. There are no lights. So that's pretty nice. This is a wireless charger that might work well by your bed, or somewhere where it gets dark and you don't want the you know, weird color changing lights of some of the other the other charging pads. So just something to keep in mind. It's got it's a pretty dim, honestly, green LED on the bottom of the base right there, right in the center. And like I said, yeah, it's something that if you oriented your phone like this, you could pretty much cover that up, and I doubt you'd even see it. So there's no fan in this wireless charging base. I know some of the fast charging bases are including fans to keep the coils cool. That's something that I'll just provide an update video after a little bit. I'll use this for a couple weeks, and then I'll provide an update video, tell you how hot it gets, how hot the phone gets, because they're going to get warm. They shouldn't get much more than that. So again, I like the charging base. I feel like I have a pretty positive impression of it. Seems like it does well at what it's supposed to do. You know, you put your phone somewhere near the middle of it. Again, you know, the coils are such that you kind of have to orient your phone. You know, if it's off like this, it's not going to charge. But as long as you get it somewhere near the middle, it should charge fine. So actually probably have to pick it up and then put it back down, just because I was off center. There we go. So those are my initial impressions, and again, pretty positive for $60. I forgot to mention earlier, this retails for $60. That's quite a bit. It's a lot more expensive than the ones you'll find on Amazon, or even the Belkin one's selling for about $45 right now. The Samsung one is selling for $40. So for $60, you're definitely buying a product that feels solid. I'm not a huge fan of the AC adapter instead of a proprietary adapter instead of just a micro USB cable with a quick charge 3 USB plug. But we'll see how it holds up. The pad, the base itself feels very solid. It has a bit of weight to it. It feels nice in the hand. Your phone doesn't slip off of it. It's a good size. So, and again, not a very obtrusive or intrusive light if you're using it where you want to sleep next to your bed. So before I ramble on for 15 minutes, I will let you guys know if anything changes. But at this point, the charger, definitely a positive initial impression other than the price and the AC adapter, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe if you liked what you saw. Leave a comment, and I'll talk to you guys soon.